Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a really useful and common English tense, the past continuous. It might sound a bit technical, but I promise by the end of this video, you'll be using it like a pro. So, what is it? We use the past continuous to talk about actions or events that were in progress at a specific time in the past. Think of it as painting a picture of what was happening in the background. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine your friend called you last night at 8 p.m. They might ask, "What were you doing?" You could answer, "I was watching a movie." See? The action of watching the movie was in progress at that specific time, 8 p.m. The structure is pretty simple. You just need the past tense of to be, which is was or were, plus the main verb with an ing ending. So, I was watching, you were studying, he was cooking, they were playing. Easy, right? Now, let's make it more interesting. One of the most common ways we use the past continuous is to set the scene for a story. It helps create a background atmosphere before the main action happens. For instance, the sun was setting over the mountains, a gentle breeze was blowing through the trees, and birds were singing their evening songs. This creates a vivid image in the listener's mind, showing what was happening at that moment. It makes your stories much more engaging than just saying, "It was a nice evening." Let's practice this with a little story. Imagine you're telling a friend about a funny thing that happened yesterday. You could start like this. "So yesterday afternoon, I was walking home from the library. I was listening to my favorite podcast and not really paying attention to where I was going. Here, I was walking and I was listening are the background actions. They were happening continuously. Now, we introduce the main event, which usually uses the past simple. Suddenly, I bumped right into someone. The bumping is a short, completed action that interrupts the ongoing background actions. This brings us to a key use of the past continuous, showing an interruption. We often use it with the past simple, connected by words like when or while. The past continuous describes the longer, ongoing action, and the past simple describes the shorter action that interrupted it. For example, I was taking a shower when the phone rang. The shower was a long action in progress. The phone ringing was a short, interrupting action. Let's try another one. While we were having a picnic, it started to rain. The picnic was the ongoing event, and the rain starting was the interruption. Notice how we use while with the continuous action and when, often with the short, interrupting action. You could say, "We were having a picnic when it started to rain," or, "While it was raining, we ran for cover." Both work perfectly to show the relationship between the two past actions. Let's look at another scenario to really get the hang of it. What were you doing at 10 a.m. this morning? Maybe you were attending a meeting, or you were driving to work, or maybe you were still sleeping. Whatever it was, the action was in progress at that specific point in time. A friend could ask, "What was all that noise I heard earlier?" You could reply, "Oh, sorry, my kids were playing with their new drum set." The playing was happening over a period of time in the past. We can also use the past continuous to talk about two or more actions that were happening at the same time in the past. This is where while is especially useful. For example, last night, I was reading a book while my roommate was watching TV. Both actions, reading and watching, were happening simultaneously. Neither one interrupted the other. Here's another one. The chef was chopping vegetables while the waiter was taking orders. It paints a picture of a busy restaurant scene with multiple things happening at once. So how do we form questions and negatives? It's just as simple. For questions, we just invert the subject and was or were. Instead of "you were listening," it becomes "were you listening?" For example, "Were you sleeping when I called you?" Or "What were you doing at 3 p.m. yesterday?" For negatives, we just add not after was or were. I was not paying attention, which we usually contract to I wasn't paying attention, or they were not playing outside, which becomes they weren't playing outside. For example, he wasn't feeling well, so he was resting all day. Let's do a quick review in comparison. Past simple. I walked to the store. This describes a completed action. We don't know for how long, just that it happened and it's finished. Past continuous. I was walking to the store. This focuses on the action being in progress. It implies that something else might have happened during that time. For example, I was walking to the store when I saw my old teacher. See the difference? The past simple is like a snapshot, a single point. The past continuous is like a video clip showing duration. Now let's put it all together in a short conversation. Imagine two friends, Alex and Ben, catching up. Alex could say, "Hey Ben, I called you around 9 last night, but you didn't pick up. Was everything okay?" Ben might reply, "Oh hey Alex, sorry about that. I was helping my brother with his science project. We were trying to build a volcano and it was getting pretty messy." Alex could then say, "A volcano? That sounds fun. While you were building a volcano, I was just watching a boring documentary. My night wasn't nearly as exciting." In this little chat, I was helping, we were trying, and I was watching. All describe actions that were in progress at a certain time in the past. It makes the conversation feel natural and descriptive. It gives us a better picture of what Ben and Alex were doing. It's much more dynamic than just saying, "I helped my brother," or "I watched a documentary." To really master this, you have to practice. So, here's a little challenge for you. Think about your day yesterday. At 11 a.m., what were you doing? At 4 p.m., what was happening? At 9 p.m., try to form full sentences. For example, yesterday at 11 a.m., I was working on a report. Or, at 4 p.m., I was driving home from work and listening to the radio. Say them out loud. This active use is key to making the grammar stick. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore the past continuous. I hope this lesson was helpful and that you feel more confident using it in your daily conversations. Remember, practice is everything. Try to use it when you're telling a story or describing something that happened in your day. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next lesson. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.